I'm muted. There we go. Good evening, morning, afternoon. All that other fun stuff. I am eBloodyCandy. We'll have a little block here of me. And yeah, we're gonna start out with Titus the Fox on the Game Boy. The original Game Boy, so a little lesser known game. Most people, when it comes to handheld Titus, know more of the Game Boy Color version. And the only difference between the two games is the Game Boy Color version is backwards. So anyway, without further ado, 3, 2, 1, let's roll. So we are Titus the Fox. And our sole purpose is to save our girlfriend. By doing so, we are going to be traversing through a fairly cryptic game. The game doesn't really tell you or give you hints on to where anything or how to do anything in a stage. My blind playthrough of this game is longer than it should be. It's like, for instance, this wall right here. Generally speaking, you're supposed to like climb up a building and do a bunch of other stuff, but there's shortcuts in the game, and we gotta go fast, right? So here we're gonna mash the start button in between stages. That gets us through us faster. We're gonna jump over the bottle lady. This game actually has some pretty interesting movements, so to speak. So this game has 2 different difficulties. You can play this on easy difficulty, which is what we're playing it on right now because marathon safety. Or you can play this on hard difficulty. The only difference between this and hard difficulty is the enemies move a lot faster. So you're gonna see me take some paths. What we want to try and do is avoid those diamond squares as much as possible because those are points. Once you've gotten, I think, 100 of them, you get an extra life, and the timer takes forever to go down. We're gonna try and end our lives at the in between or during every bonus stage because bonus stages take too long. So those ghosts, they do not hurt you until they turn a solid color. So you can just walk right through them. The spikes looks like they're gonna hurt you. They're not. Unless you jump low early. So here's our first piece of cryptic stage knowledge here coming up. So as we traverse through this section here, we're gonna come down to a little tiny platform right about here-ish. And these blocks here break away and you have to fall down. Another thing to note too is if you're carrying an item while trying to move and jump, it actually weighs you down and you can't make those jumps as easy, and sometimes you can't make the jumps at all. That becomes very important later on. Let's see how much health we have. We can take one more hit. Alright, good. In this game, if you die at all, you have to start the entire stage over again. Not ideal, obviously. So here we got a fly coming in hot. We have another fly coming in from the top. And we have this skeleton right here. This skeleton, yeah, can be a real pain because the way Titus physics works is that when you hit the ceiling, instead of kind of being glued to the ceiling, you get pushed down. So if you don't time that jump just right, you kind of just get thrown around. So we're just going to go ahead and take this a little safer here. Try not to get hit by that spike this time around. That way we have a little bit extra health to work with here. So I'm just going to jump over those so we don't trigger them. Not the end of the world at all. When I was doing practice with this earlier, just to remember the path of the game, I took the wrong path like 2 or 3 times and I was still underestimated, so we're fine. So here we got another fly incoming here. Very dangerous flies. If you didn't know, foxes are very vulnerable to flies. We're gonna play this a little safe here. So this fly here will just continue to fly off the screen. We're gonna have a fast fly coming in hot. Then we'll have another slow fly here. We're gonna play this one just a tad safer than we did before. Well, we're in a crypt for now. For now. We will leave this crypt. Oh, we'll make the jump that time though. That's not a big deal. So this one's fun. So typically this stage is crazy long. But if you take this shortcut right here and just wait, this will take you to the end of the stage. Generally speaking, you have to go all the way right, jump up a bunch of blocks, and go all the way back left. Terrible. But we just do that. So we don't have any more pits that we can die in, essentially. So now what we have to do is that because we have to rely on spikes. And we have 5 hit points of damage that we can take before we don't exist anymore. So what we have to do is find the nearest pit of spikes. This is the longest bonus stage to find a pitfall. So we're gonna sit here and just lay on the spikes. The reason we lay on the spikes is that if we don't clip into the wall and just stand straight up, Titus will actually go up into the air and it takes longer to get back down to the spikes. So we just lay down on them. So now we're in stage 3 here, so we're still in a cavern-esque area. This stage here can be actually pretty difficult, depending on how things want to behave. So we're gonna do a little bit of a Super Mario Bros. Here and go up here. And walk across most of the stage. So again, this stage here, there's 2 paths. There's a shortcut, which we'll take, and there's another path that you can take that's further right and around the stage. We don't want to take that path. So we're gonna follow these diamond blocks straight down. It's gonna lead to a little opening right here. Titus will just go into the hole. There we go. So we're gonna slide across this. So I call this mayonnaise, but I think it's supposed to be ice physics. When you land on it, you slide. I don't know, I just call it mayonnaise because it's funnier sounding. I don't want to take any additional damage from that person in the way. Alright, we're good. So here, this is a little scary part right here. So we're going to drop down just to be a little safe. So we got some more mayonnaise. We're going to get hit by this fly right here. The worms also do hurt you. And your only sense of protection is those crates that you saw earlier in the game, which will come in handy a little later on. So here now we got jumping fish. The fish looks very angry, by the way. And in this stage here, not so much cryptic, but can be confusing because you will actually see the end of the stage, but you won't be able to reach it unless you take a very certain path towards it. All right. Fill the fish. It is fill the fish, yeah. It's that fish from those learning games, and he just got tired of learning, so he took on a whole new life. Oh boy. Alright, we're good. Okay, well, let's take damage there, that's fine. We're fine. We can take 2 more hits. Alright. We're gonna wait for that fly to pass by again. The really cool thing about this game, which I wish other games kind of took into consideration, was that when you jump, you can actually grab the ladders when you jump. Here so we know we can take 2 more hits. So we're gonna just crawl and get hit by this fly right here. There'll be another fly right up here. And then there's the ending. So now we have bonus stage. And you can't drown yourself, unfortunately, so we have to find a pit of spikes again. Luckily enough, we have one right here. And we're just gonna lay down in them. Yeah, if the music hurts, it's definitely, you can definitely tell it's a jank game if the music hurts. The title screen is the worst. So now we're like in the haunted part of the cavern. So this stage alone, this stage took me a very long time blind to get through it. Maybe it wasn't this, maybe it's the next stage. It's one of these 2 stages that took me a very long time to get through it, because the game, like I said, doesn't tell you or give you any hints on what to do or where to go. So you kind of just have to know. Okay, it's the next stage. This one here, we have a tricky jump over the scorpion here. So I usually just wait for the scorpion to walk that way, and we wait for him to turn back around. All right, we're good. So there's a little glitch that you can do with this ball right here. So we're going to try and line it up with that edge. And generally speaking, it takes 2 jumps to get onto the platform with the ball. But if you can glitch the edge, which you'll see in the final stage of the game where we don't use the ball at all, to get onto the platforms. This stage is scary if you get knocked off the edge, because if you get knocked off the edge over one of those pits, it takes you all the way back down to the beginning of the stage, basically. So we'll play that one a little slow here. We'll have a skeleton coming up here. See you, bud. We'll have another skeleton down here. We're just going to do a big jump here and get chased by a scorpion. And that's the end of the stage. So this is the stage that took me probably 20 or 30 minutes to figure out. The reason that is because there is no indication on where to go and what to do. And that's a problem in this stage because there's only one way through to the end of this stage. And you just have to know to blindly jump at stuff. So here we're gonna climb down here, hop off the ladder, and you want to go and tuck into this one little corner that you have never guessed to tuck into. I'm gonna take our crate of destiny here. And we're just gonna drop some flies along the way. Do one more, yep. So here, there is no ladder on the right-hand side until you jump into the wall. This is the only way to the finish of the stage. And there it is. So this bonus game is brutal for a couple different reasons. We can't avoid most of these diamonds. So this is probably one of the longest ones we'll have to deal with in terms of collecting diamonds. So we also duck here as well on this one, because if we go into full Titus body mode, it will collect that other diamond to the right of us. All right, so now we're in stage 5. We're in Arabia, I guess. We're gonna take this ball here, and if you thought the cavern was cryptic, well, this stage isn't much nicer. So once we get towards the end of the stage, we're gonna go about right here, and we're gonna blindly jump over that pot, and that pot's gonna give us a ladder. And the exit to this stage is up here. This stage alone also took me about 20 or 30 minutes blind to figure out as well. We'll do it the old-fashioned way then, ball. All right. We're gonna go back up here. And there's the exit right there. So you can't just hop and hit the bottom of the stage. It doesn't work that way. So this stage here has some weird little potholes to it. But generally speaking, we kind of crawl underneath of everything. There is that pipe right there takes it to the top of the stage where it is loaded with those diamond blocks there. Also, as we progress through this stage, there's going to be random holes that appear. If you fall into those holes, it's almost a guaranteed death because it leads you into a tar pit. And then we have another sword person, and that's the end of that stage. Now we go into the bonus stage here. This bonus stage can be a little deceptive because generally speaking, you can walk through those bottom parts of the platform, but in the bonus stage, you cannot. So you have to jump and walk across these. But the weird part about this one, this bonus stage in particular, is the ending of it. So that timer in the bottom right-hand corner of our screen, it covers the exit to the stage, and you cannot see it. So you're just like, I hit the end of the stage. Do I keep walking to the right to complete it? The answer is yes. So as we get to this end of the stage, we're just gonna keep walking right, and it just ends, and you would never know that end point is there. All right. So now we are in the final world of this game. The bottle people are now bottle kids. That guy's a sweet hat. But we still keep the doggos at least. So as we keep going through here, we have one more dog next to a streetlight, and then we want to climb up this building. That ball is there just to be there. Yeah, I figure we're gonna get hit by the dog. We can get hit by the dog again too? No? Okay. We got another bottle kid. We're just gonna do a big jump here. If you jump over that ending spot there, you go to the bottom. So here we don't. There's a ball, but we can get some wiggle action going on here. We don't need the ball, and this is the final stage of the game. So what we're going to try and do here is run and jump onto this ladder, and then up here, you just have to know that you can jump and make that ladder because there is no ball right there. This stage can be also brutal because it has some pretty tight jumps, like right here. And if you fall down to the bottom of the stage and you have to climb your way back up. But however, the tricky part about this stage is at the very end, this jump right here, you don't want to jump as far as you can. You want to kind of clip right into there. You're going to take an initial damage from this kid, and that is the game. That is Titus the Fox for the Game Boy. We have saved our girlfriend. We have done all the things that we needed to do. And, yeah. Enjoy this amazing ending music, by the way, as well.